right, we're going to start out. We haven't done this yet. We need to make our social contract for this class. You've probably done that in your other ones, but we haven't done that. And I'm putting in the chat how you can participate in that. There's a website you can go to, or you can text on your phone to 37607. That's all in the chat on how to participate. I'm going to put this up on the screen so we can get started with our Friday and get out of here for the weekend. All right. I'm putting this up on the screen for you guys. Anyone joins us, they can hop in, but using what's in the chat as the website or texting it if you'd rather send it by phone. How do you want to be treated by the teacher in this class? How do you want me to treat you? All right, I'm going to deactivate that and get that off the screen. We will move on. All right, the other thing, I had two things I wanted to do today. One was to get your input on those things. Here's the other thing. I want to make sure you can access our curriculum because we're going to start next week. Monday, we'll be hot and heavy into it. So let me put this on the screen, and we need to find out that you guys can log in. So if you haven't used Buzz before, even if you have used Buzz, doesn't mean your login's working. Right here, I posted just a few minutes ago on our Google Classroom, our curriculum, Buzz, right there. So you should be able to go to our Google Classroom and click on that and open up Buzz. And then let me show you, once you get there, this is how you get your login. Right here. Let's make it bigger. There we go. Bigger. Your email is the same, but do not put the part that I put in black there, at BittenvilleK12. Just put the part that's yellow. Just the part before the at. That will go up as your username. And then the password is set at online 2023, no spaces, capital O. So see if you can log in using, now don't put the at Bittenville K12. I had a couple of students couldn't log in, but they were putting the whole email. Don't put the at Bittenville K12. Don't put that, just the part at the beginning. So Riley said it worked for him. Just need to make sure you can all access our class. Let me know if it's not working. I'll go in and see what I need to fix. All right, everybody's in. So let me pull it up on the screen and show you, in case you have not used Buzz before. I want you to just know what you're looking at there. So I'll bring this back onto the screen. All right, so you should see all the classes that you have Buzz listed there. May just be this one. Maybe this is your only Buzz class, but there are some science classes. There's AP Psych class. There's other classes that use Buzz besides just this math. So if you have more than one class, that's fine. They're all there. But I'm going to go and look at our Algebra II class right here. So I click on the class, and this will be the screen that pops up. Now, this will probably be closed. You probably just see these two folders, the Welcome folder and the Module 1 folder down here. And you can open that Module 1 and see this is everything we're doing for the next few weeks. Next few weeks is all right there. The welcome part, it just has information about the course. It tells you how long all the lessons are supposed to take. There's no algebra in this. This just talks about the actual online course. But our algebra is going to be in Module 1. So I want to show you some things while we're here. If you go up this little menu button up on the left, you'll see that there's two screens we can go to, either activities or grades. We're on the activities. This is the activity screen we're on right now. So you can go up to that menu, or there's a quicker way. There's a shortcut to get to that grade screen, and it's this icon right here at the top. If you click on that, that takes you to the grade screen. Now, you should visit the grade screen regularly because it tells you a lot of information. First, anything that you've completed and turned in, it'll have your score. And it'll have a little check mark showing this turned in, and it'll tell you the exact date that you turned it in. So you can look back and say, hey, am I missing anything? You go back here. If you see something missing and it's past that due date, I didn't get that turned in. I need to go get that done. So a great place to look at. This will also have your semester grade right up here at the top, your score in the class. So use the grade screen to see what's due this week. Like we see next week, there's a pre-test and then two assignments, 101 and 102. That'll be the ones that on Monday when we're in class, we'll talk about those assignments and go over some of that information. Today, I just want you to be able to get logged in and be a little bit familiar with Buzz. So let's go back to the activity screen. And I need to show you how to get to basically anything here. If we go to the introduction to systems of equation, it's not really a lesson. It has the word lesson, but there's not really a lesson there. It says I can't look at it yet because I haven't done the academic integrity contract. So if I go back to the activity screen, see, that's the first thing in the folder, the academic integrity contract. So if I click on that, it's going to take me to this page here. And here's a Google form. You check mark that to record your email so they know who turned this in. Right here, you can put your name underneath the statement. And then there's two questions. Do you agree to this statement above? And you understand if you violate it, you may have to be all your work online while you're being watched. So you read that statement, put your name and agree to those, and then you hit submit. But that's not the end of that. Buzz does not check with Google to see if you submitted that. So after you submit that, it's important that you go down here where it says mark this activity complete. So that way Buzz knows that you have completed it. So when you mark that activity complete and then go back to Buzz, back to your activity sheet, now there's a little check mark. And it says, okay, now if I want to go look at this next item, it'll let me do that now because it knows that I have finished the academic integrity. So this intro here, all it really has is it tells you the lessons we're going to have in this unit and how long it should take and how many points they're worth. All right. If we do those, sometimes I skip some of these. If we don't need them for this class, sometimes I skip them. But you can go to the next page. Get that thing out of the way. Next page. And this just kind of talks about working through this module. Make a mental note. While working in the pre-test, give it 100% of your attention and effort. But don't worry about the pre-test affecting your score because it's a pre-test. That means we're testing to see what do you remember from algebra before. So that's the systems equation pre-test. You can take this anytime. You can take it before next week if you want to take it this weekend to get it out of the way. Once you hit start, it's all multiple choice. It's all multiple choice. It's just a pre-test. It will not affect your semester grade. But you can go through here and see what you remember. Don't worry if you bomb it. This is the things we're going to study in this unit. So as we go through and we study these things, you'll notice that it has the same thing listed twice. Solving systems of equation algebraically. Solving system of equations algebraically. This one says lesson after it. This one doesn't say anything. And they have different icons. The lesson is the lesson, and this is the assignment that goes with that lesson. That's why they have the same name. So I look at the lesson, you'll see it'll open up. It'll be 5 to 9 pages usually somewhere. Oh, this one's 10 pages. At the first always just has a little opening and tells you what you should learn. You should be able to answer those two questions by the time you get to the end of the lesson. If you can't, then you miss something. But when you go through here and you're looking at these lessons, you'll see sometimes things that are this color. That usually means there's something hidden under there if you click it. So identify and create opposite coefficients. Then it'll show you what it means. Add the equations vertically, and it'll show you how to do that. Simplify and solve, substitute and solve. So you'll see links in here. Learn more in systems of equation. That'll generally open up another window. And it'll have extra things in there that's teaching you something. So as you go through here, be sure and click on all of these links for extra stuff, because there's things in there it's going to show you that's not included right here on the page. Real world applications. Click on that. It'll open another window. These things, again, identify and create opposite coefficients. Do you want to eliminate the A or the C? As it's showing you these things, it gives you practice problems. And this is your chance to practice. What do you think the first equation will look like? Take a guess. Type in an equation. And then hit submit. And it'll tell you if you're correct or not. But as you go through here, more stuff. Example problems. You should try to work on paper when it says identify and create opposite coefficients. Okay, write that down in your notes. Write down, okay, I think the answer is this. Then click that and see if you're right. Oh, is that what they did? Okay, yes, good. I know what I'm doing. But when you go through here, you'll a little over halfway through usually. And there it is, lesson summary. This is page 6 of the 10. Lesson summary. This summarizes everything from this lesson. All right here in one place. So if you're taking notes, and you should have notes, because you can use your notes on tests. You can use your notes on tests, assignments, anything in this class. You got notes, use them. And here's a great place to get the notes, because this is the lesson summary. And it'll show you everything that we talked about in this lesson. You can just print these if you want to. If you have a printer, print them, keep them in a 3-ring binder, and that can be your notes, however you want to do that. But this is the lesson summary. So what do they have after lesson summary? We're only on page 6. That's when they give you practice problems. Before it counts, before you get to the assignment, can you do this? Just solve each one of these and then match the column on the left with the right. So if it gave you these 2 problems, what's the solution? After you've read those other 5 pages, you should know how to work this. And you say, okay, this one is going to be -7.3. I'm just guessing. I haven't worked the problem. Oh, it'll say, nope, that was incorrect. So all these practice problems are designed to help you figure out, do I understand the lesson? If I'm getting the answer wrong, I'm doing something incorrectly. I thought I knew how to do this, but when I tried to match this up, I was wrong. So I need to figure out what am I doing wrong here? Oh, well, maybe it was -1, 2. Oh, it is. It disappeared. See, that was the actual answer. So then I'll try another one. I'll bet, and I've got to match it up. And one of them doesn't have a solution. So once you match it up, they'll disappear. So that just helps you know. You go to the next page, there's more practice problems. These are different. Solve this one. So you solve it and then check your work. Okay, here's how they solved it. So you can do practice problems and then check your work. And if you're able to do the practice problems and get those right, when you get done with this and we say, okay, I've done the whole lesson, I'm good. Now you can go to the assignment and you shouldn't have any trouble. If you could do the practice problems, you can do the actual problems. This first one, we have multiple choice, 5 questions. That's it. You got to solve these 5 problems, solve that, and tell us what the answer is. Which one of those choices is the answer? So a lot of times it'll just be multiple choice. Sometimes there may be some where you have to show your work, a mixture of that. But overall, if you do the practice problems and can work those during the lesson, you shouldn't have any trouble when actually doing the assignment itself. And most all of these are going to be EOL assignments, except for this pretest is not. It's just a practice assignment. We'll have like this practice test right here. There's a practice test. We don't always have a practice test, but if there's a practice test attached to that, that's a practice assignment. And you can take as many times as you want. All of these lessons, all these assignments, I shouldn't say lessons, I should say assignments, you can retake them. If you don't do well, I set them to allow it to have usually 3 attempts. If you don't do well the first time, it'll give you another try. If you don't do well the second time, it'll give you another try. But it may not have the same questions because it has a bank that it pulls from. So you do it the next time, you may have entirely different problems. So don't just memorize the answers when you retake it, because that's not going to work. You need to know how to work the problem so that you can work the new problem it'll give you when you retry. So that was really it today. I wanted to get the social contract done, and I wanted to make sure you could access our curriculum in Buzz. So Monday we'll actually assign the first things. If you want to look at it early, that's great. If you want to do that pre-test before class on Monday, that's great too, because we're not going to cover the pre-test in class. That's just something we find out where you're starting from. But otherwise, I think we've been there long enough for a Friday. You guys go have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Get started with some algebra.